it. We're here. What do you think? What do you think? Okay. Well, welcome everyone to episode number 292 of What Does This Button Do? It is the Villa Vie. We did it. It's the announcement of the big announcement. Okay. It's January 5th.
we can't keep this kind of stuff in. Some people they're going to have a big reveal and all that. No, we just need to tell you we did it.
Yeah, we did it. So, we are an educational show about smartphones, travel, and technology. We are Geeks On Tour. That's us. Yeah. So, do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And you have questions about your iPad or your iPhone or your Androids and your technology and the cloud and travel.
And travel, yeah. Well, we are geeks. We've been in computer technology, training, and support since the early 80s.
Wow, yeah.
And we're still doing it, and we still love it.
We do.
Another word for geek is a propeller head, so that's why we wear these. But we also are very intent on traveling and how much these devices are useful
they are. It's amazing.
for travels. And we are going to get back to traveling.
Yep. So where are we now?
Well, right now we're home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. But if you watched our episode 290, that was 3 weeks ago, we were on board the Villa Vie Odyssey, the residential cruise ship called the Villa Vie Odyssey, and we were checking out the possibility of moving on board, of living there. Well, we made a poll. We said, if you watched that video, you watched our live show in the mid-December, what do you think? Do you think we were going to pull the trigger and live aboard or not? And 63% said no.
Well, I thought our folks knew us better than that.
Really? Well, fooled you. And if you couldn't find the poll, let me just show you something. It's right on our YouTube channel. However, if you're on our YouTube channel looking at one of the YouTube videos, you don't see the menu. So you need to click where it says Geeks On Tour to go to the channel. Now you have this menu of home, videos, shorts, live, podcast, playlist, community, and store. Community is where we post messages and or polls. So here is where that poll was, where 63% said no, we wouldn't do it. Yes, we did.
And we're happy we did. We're really...
And here's why. This says about who we are. My mantra for many years now has come from Ashley Brilliant, and I love this little cartoon. I have a whole book of his. I have abandoned my search for the truth, and am now looking for a good fantasy. Doesn't that sound good? Who needs to be constantly searching for the truth when you can have...
Yeah, you found it. It'll be amazing. We've seen what it is and how it works, but, we've only spent a week on so far. But come June, we'll be moving aboard.
Yes, our plan, we've signed the contract, we've paid money, and our plan is to move aboard in San Francisco in June.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we want to thank you to our premium members. You make this work possible. You make these travels possible. Become a member at geeksontour.com/join now. It's $68 for 1 year, $58 if you have a recurring membership. It really helps us out. We have a backstage pass for our premium members. That's one of the advantages of being a premium member. It's a Zoom meeting right after this show. We call this a show. And it's a Zoom where we can participate with our community. And our paid members, you make that possible. You get the link from the email that Chris sent out earlier, or just go to our website, geeksontour.com, and click on the member login link there. Okay, I don't see any questions, but I see a whole lot of people here, so I think I'll put...
If you have a question or a comment, that's what the live chat is for. Please write your comments in there, and we will spend some time looking at them.
Okay, right.
She got my book, Learn Google Photos. Good. I hope it helps. Make sure to check the Google geeksontour.com/GP updates. Google Photos updates to see what has changed since the book was published.
Okay, Linda's in Hawaii.
Yep.
Julie's in South Florida, just around the corner. Laverne, Scottsdale, Arizona. Warm winter, no rain in the forecast. Okay. Linda wants to hear about the decision.
That's what we're doing today.
Kathleen in New York City likes it. Mead, haven't seen you in a while. It looks chilly up there. Okay, Mike, we have decided to purchase a new mini PC to fit.
No, you decided?
No, we have not decided on doing that. I have a MacBook Pro. I think it'll work just fine. Debbie Diver's excited. So are we. Travel information. We'll be putting it out there. Detlef is in Denver. The Gates, Herb, North Carolina. Robin, thank you. Chris LeClaire is not surprised. She knows
she
us
knows
for a long time.
And she is.
And Robin, if not now, when?
Exactly. Thank you.
Do it. Yeah. Do it while you're able to. So we're getting a whole lot of good stuff there. Okay.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Yep.
Let's get to it and tell you what we know here.
Stop here, Maurice.
Look at all these people. Hello.
Got to put a marker in there. Okay.
So the first question everybody has is, how much does it cost? And the answer to that is why we can do this. This is the first residential cruise ship that is affordable. Well, let's see if you agree. I will make you go do your own research, but I'll show you where you can look to find the cost. You go to the Villa Vie Residences website, and then you click on deck plans and cabin info if you're interested in purchasing a cabin. There are other options that you will see under residency options. Basically, it's the difference between owning and renting. But we chose the owning, and we will be selling our house. That's just the way we roll. But let me show you then. If you go to Villa Vie, VILLAVIE, residences.com, and click on deck plans and cabin info. This is where you can click on a cabin and buy it. There are 8 decks. You click on a number to see what's available on that deck. Let me go to 7 first. This is where most of the balcony cabins are. The red means they're already taken. They're out of stock. The green means available, and the yellow means they're available for renting, for segments. So let's look at a green one here. And notice it's bigger. It's horizontal and it's bigger. So that is a balcony suite wide. And it says that purchase price is $399.99, $400,000. Whew. And $4,500 each per month. So that's $400,000 up front, and what's that? $9,000 a month.
Wow.
That covers everything. I originally said, I'm not going on a cruise ship unless I have a balcony. So these were the ones we were looking at, and this makes me choke a little bit. So the best thing that we learned when we stayed on board for a week, let me go back to ship and go to deck 4. For our week try before you buy, they put us in cabin 4036, which does not have a balcony, but it has a nice big window and we decided that we like it. This is $170,000, big difference from $400, and $2,500 a month each. So that's $5,000 a month for everything, and purchase price of $170,000. So there's your answer, and you can browse around to your heart's content on the ships, on the website, and see what is available. But notice 4036 is what we just bought, and it's still showing as green, so they haven't, it takes them a while to get this stuff updated. All right, so that's the answer to that. How much does it cost? And then there is the rental, and I say you'd have to look that up yourself. Now, there's lots of other questions that we had and that other people had. And in our episode 290, we showed you how to use an AI tool called NotebookLM. And you basically feed into it every website, every document, every YouTube video, every audio that you can find that has information about Villa Vie. You feed that into a notebook in NotebookLM, then you can ask questions. Now, if you watched that episode, I showed you exactly how to do it, but I only added 4 sources. And when I tried to ask some questions, it said the sources don't answer that question. So I just wanted to go back and show you how you can add another source and then ask a question. So I'm going to go to NotebookLM. So this is an AI tool by Google, notebooklm.google.com. And I made a notebook for Villa Vie Odyssey, and I put a bunch of stuff in here. That's called adding a source. Now, for example, I will go to the Villa Vie website and lifestyle and medical center. You know, people have questions about medical. Rather than reading all through this, I'm going to grab the URL for this web page about the medical center and add it as a source to my notebook. Website link, paste URL, paste, and insert. Okay, now I could ask questions like, how do I get my prescriptions when on board? And it will use all of the sources that I've put in there, including the one I just added, and hopefully give me some answer. The Villa Vie Odyssey has an onboard pharmacy that stocks standard formulary and inventory of medications, blah, blah, blah. And then notice these little 1, 2, and 3. Those will, if you click on that, it will take you directly to the source where that information came from. Medical services, medications, and supplies will be charged to your onboard account, and you will be provided with an itemized bill to submit to your international or travel insurance. It's highly recommended that residents obtain independent medical insurance. I see we already have a question in the chat about the cost of that, and no answers yet from us on that. Okay, but so I think NotebookLM is so cool. I'm just using it for everything. It is my knowledge base. You know, every time I come across information online or anywhere else that I want to store and be able to ask questions, I make a notebook in NotebookLM. And we do have the basics in video 899. That's geeksontour.com/899. I'm not going to take the time to play it now, though. So, our reasons.
Do we have reasons?
Yeah. Well, in our, who are we that we make this decision? Well, we were full-time RVers. A lot of you know us from the RV world.
14 years full-time.
14 years, and we did not have a house during that time. We strictly lived in an RV. So the lifestyle of your house doing the traveling is very comfortable to us. That image at the top is very typical of our travels when we were RVers, and it's a pretty small space that we both lived and worked in for 14 years. We've been in a house now, because I inherited my mom's house, since 2017. So that's over 7 years.
Yeah, so we have a 7-year itch.
Yeah, we have the 7-year itch, exactly. And, what's the next chapter?
Well,
this is perfect.
It seems to be for us. We love travel. We'll be able to scuba dive, and we'll be able to use technology for all the things that we'll be doing.
There's a scuba diving group on board.
Yeah.
And their videos from Galapagos make me drool.
They have some nice videos and pictures.
So it's just kind of a no. I'm sure it's definitely not for everybody, but it is for us. And yes, there are risks, but they're risks that we're willing to take.
Pros and cons. Well, the cons are a pretty short list, and some of those cons aren't really even all that negative. So money, well, yeah, it's going to cost some money, but everything costs money. We thought about if you were to get a new RV or even a good big used RV, you're going to be talking about big bucks, and you're going to have to drive it, and you're still going to have to do anyway. Yeah,
well, at first look, it looked like the dollars was too much.
Right.
But then when we realized we could manage in a non-balcony room,
yeah,
it's dollars that our financial advisor says we can afford.
Right. The con, selling the house, well, this is really not where we're going to be staying for we don't want this to be our final chapter. We like it here in South Florida, and it's nice and all, but yeah, leaving family and friends, that's going to be tough. I see my sister is there, and she says she's going to miss us. Yeah, we'll miss her too and the family, but she can come and visit if she wants, and we'll be back. It's not, we were gone for a long time before, and she didn't miss us too much. Okay, and my son and family here, yeah, friends, but we have friends all over the world now. So we'll be visiting those folks. It'll be
And
okay.
we hope that some of our friends and families take advantage of the ability to visit us. There's really good deals for friends and family to come on board when we're on board. You get your own room.
And somebody asked, is there any chance of some of us joining you from San Francisco to Alaska?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's possible. You'd have to check with the Villa Vie and see if there's any room. That'd be great to have some folks on board.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
Usually the short term is for a segment. And you'll see, and the segments are like 3 months worth.
But there are some individuals and rentals for short terms, and we really don't know that much about it yet, but we're learning. So, yeah, ask them. They're the ones. So, yeah, okay. Losing my YouTube studio. Oh, my. Yeah, well, the Villa Vie Odyssey says that they're going to put together a YouTube studio or a podcast studio somewhere on the ship. It hasn't been done yet, but they're looking at spaces for it, and I want to be a part of that. So I'm going to be taking some of my YouTube studio stuff.
And yes, you have a pretty amazing YouTube studio here in the house, but you've done it in the camper van.
And we did it just a couple of weeks ago on board.
On board in our
So it can be
room.
done.
Yep.
No RV travel or long-term international travel?
Well, that's before this came up. I had decided that I wanted to go and stay a month in places
okay.
when we travel. So I got to toss that plan. And yeah, that's too bad. But this is a good reason to do it, I think. It's will be a better thing to be on the ship and go everywhere. And if you really want to, you can get off the ship. spend a month somewhere and then rejoin the ship wherever it is. You still have to pay your monthly, or rent it out. Now the pros then. No shopping, cooking, cleaning, that's all covered.
Yeah, and guess who does most of that around here?
So you're off the hook.
I'll be off the hook. No driving. We drove around the country for 14 years, and we still did it in our little van, and we'll continue to do some of that, but not as much, and I don't enjoy it as much as I used to. So that's something.
We did a lot of driving.
We will eat better. Will eat well. Yeah. We promise.
I actually lost a pound the week that we were on board.
I lost too.
Yes, they have really good food. Yes, they have excellent desserts, but they're delectable desserts in these little tiny shot glass size, so you can just have a couple of bites. And there's fresh fruits and vegetables at every meal. And then you get up and you take a walk around the deck.
Yeah, you have to walk to the restaurant anyway. We're not going to pay extra for room service. So that's another thing going on. We'll get exercise. There's a community of like-minded people on board. We met some amazing people on board, and I know we'll meet more.
Everybody is just so friendly because they're living there. They're not just traveling for a week.
And yeah.
There's fun activities, there's trivia every afternoon.
There's karaoke. Oh boy.
Oh boy. There's a speakers bureau, you get every 4 days approximately one of the residents gives a talk. You really get to know them that way.
We expect to be doing some of our talks as well on board, so
and oh fun. Yeah, all this time we're traveling the world.
Traveling the world. We will be Geeks on Tour again. We've been kind of in one place. Well, a lot of people haven't been traveling too much since COVID and all, but yeah, people are traveling again, and we will be traveling right there with them. And the pros, we might save some money.
Yeah, we actually might save some money compared to what we spent on travel last year. Yeah. Is there a gym? Yes, absolutely. So I get up in the morning and I just have to walk up 2 flights of stairs and I am in an exercise class. And I could do that 3 flights.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, 4 to 7.
I could do that 2 or 3 times a day if I wanted to. There's classes and gym with weights and all that. That's all included in that $5,000 a month.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, now here's the bad part. And the thing is, we did this before. When we went RVing, we got rid of everything we owned except for a few things that we kept in a storage room, and we sold our house. So we've done it before. Now we're in my mom's house. I have all of her stuff now. So furniture, I'm thinking that there are consignment furniture places, or if not, we can donate. But then there's these weird things, like this original 1984 Mac computer. I mean, I don't even know if it works. The last time I tried plugging it in, it did, but who cares? You're not going to use this. It belongs in a museum. I'll try putting it on eBay, but just painful. Then there's boxes of paper. Now, I should have. This is a box that has been under the bed for probably 20 years. It's my mom's stuff. I probably should have just said, hey, Jim, you know that box under the bed? I don't know what's in it. We haven't needed it. Will you just go get it and toss it? Nah, I couldn't do that. I had to look through. There's birth certificates of my grandparents. Now, I'm not into genealogy, but I know enough about it that those are kind of valuable things, so I'll scan them. There's journals of my mom's travels. No, I'm not going to keep the paper, but I will scan. And you may have already seen this video, but I think it's worth repeating. I love this procedure for scanning paperwork. Video 896. I'm trying to clear out some of the memorabilia in my closets. The photos are really pretty easy. You scan them with your phone and put them into Google Photos. But what about old letters? I came across this one. This is a famous letter from my mother in 1983. I could take pictures of it, but it's 11 pages. That would be 11 pictures? That's kind of a mess. So I thought about it for a little bit and realized that using Google Drive, I could scan this using my phone still, and the 11 pages would become one PDF document. Let me show you how. All you need is Google Drive. So if you have a Google account and you have the Google Drive, if you have an Android, it's already installed. It's in your Google group. If you have an iPhone, just install the Google Drive app. It looks like this triangle. You open up Google Drive, and then in My Drive and Files. Now, I've already started a folder for memorabilia from my mom, and it's called Mom. So I'm going to open that. And then you tap the plus. When I tap the plus to scan a new file, it's going to go into the Mom folder. So I tap plus and then scan. Now I come over to the letter and just get the whole letter on the screen, and notice it already captured the first page. Then I just tap the plus, and it's automatically finding the outlines of the page and scanning it. I go to the next page, tap the plus, it finds it. All I have to do is hold it steady. And I'll do that for all 11 pages. It's captured all 11 pages now. I just tap done. And then you tap say. Oh, you can give it, here's where you can give it a name. And I like to start with the date, 1983. Mom's famous letter. This letter really does mean something to me, and I'm thrilled that I found it, and I now have it online in my Google Drive. Let me show you on the computer what that looks like. So here is my Google Drive, just drive.google.com, signed into my Google account. I find the Mom folder, and I can find that 1983 Mom's Famous Letter PDF. It's one file that is 11 pages. There it is. Other than the fact that her handwriting is not that easy to read, the scan is certainly perfectly easy to read. I'm Chris Guld with Geeks On Tour, and I think this is a fabulous way to save old memorabilia that's paper.
Okay, that's true.
And I'll be using that a lot in the coming weeks.
All right, we have some questions here. I'll try and get them out of your face.
This one we still don't have an answer to yet. I mean, obviously it depends on all sorts of things. We have supplemental insurance that covers us internationally, but looking at the fine print, it's only for 3 months. So I'm not sure how they would define that if we're living on the cruise ship. We will be finding out more and let you know.
Okay. How often do you get Amazon packages? Well, it won't be as often as we get them here.
That's for sure.
In fact, what they do is all the packages go to the place here in South Florida, actually not too far away. And they put them on container ship and send them where the ship is planning to be. Well, right now they have one that they're chasing around because of weather. It couldn't get to the port where it was supposed to get unloaded before the ship got there. The ship got there and passed it. So they're waiting for that, and they're trying to figure it out. And they don't have all the answers because weather happens. And now they have to figure out how to get that stuff back. But yeah,
what I hear is kind of on average, think about it could take 6 weeks. But
ooh, okay. Well, we won't be getting a whole lot then, I guess.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, when will Villa Vie be cleared to sail in U.S. waters? Well, there's a certification that they need to get, or actually a couple of certifications, and all those things are ongoing for every cruise ship. So that's not something that we are too concerned about. There was an issue where they could not go to Antarctica because the ship did not have the polar certifications. So some people were disappointed, but it was, they've made some changes to the itinerary. And regular cruise ships that go to Antarctica on a regular basis are often delayed or postponed. So those things happen.
I certainly hope they get certified for the U.S. before June.
Yeah, they fully expect to be and to be able to sail, because they're also going to Hawaii before we get on. How many people does the ship accommodate?
Well, I have a general answer for that, but let's see what NotebookLM says. So I say, how many passengers can the Odyssey accommodate? And it looks through all its sources, and it says 929. Now, I had heard more like 600, so maybe that's including crew as well. And there's a lot of people that have bought cabins and they're solo. So...
And one couple has bought 3 cabins and combined them all into one big suite. So,
yeah, they tore the walls down and made it one big one.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff in there. Debbie asks if there's a gym. Absolutely, there's a very nice facility for exercise. And let's see. Okay. I don't think we will have a Toastmasters group, but it
well, because there's already a speakers bureau thing. But yeah, we have considered doing a Toastmasters group on board.
What will your legal residence be for voting? It will be in Florida. It will be in Clay County. When we were full-time RVers, we had a mail drop, and that was our legal residence. So and it's been our business residence for all of these years. So
we'll just have to reactivate. You sign some papers to make it your legal domicile again.
And we'll get mail there, and if necessary, they can forward it to Pembroke Pines here, and Pembroke Pines will forward it on to the ship. They work with the...
Or what's really cool about this mail forwarding company is if you want them to, they will open the mail and scan it. So you don't even have to get it forwarded.
Yeah, we don't have to worry too much about our mail. We never did, and we don't get that much mail.
We get very little mail.
Very little mail. So, okay.
Yeah. Back to the painful stuff. Look at this. What am I going to do with these? And so a poodle skirt and a grass skirt. And I understand that lots of times on cruise ship, and this one will be no exception, there's really fun parties and dressing up in costume. I'll bet I would love to have these on board ship. But they're pretty bulky, and the grass skirt is actually pretty heavy.
And I probably don't fit in it anymore.
So decisions. Oh, I need a drink. Oh,
okay.
You have some decisions, too.
Yeah, so what to take, what to pack. I don't know. I have all of this stuff here and more, so I'll have to figure it out. Some of it I'll pack and bring aboard, and some of it will have to stay behind. So
these big monitors don't crush down very well.
No. So
no. You might, yeah. Now we're going to have a lot of stuff shipped ahead of time, right?
So some of this may get shipped ahead of time. I'm not going to be carrying it in with my luggage down the gangway. So,
but there's not much storage space either.
No.
Kind of what you have under the bed is what you get,
and what you can fit in the closets, and so. There may be some storage available at one point in time. We thought that we might be using one of their offices that they have set up, but they're all taken and they're expensive, and you can't do like your show in there because it's in a quiet area of the ship. It's just for working, and for some people that's fine. For us, it would not work, and we're not going to buy another cabin just for this. Okay, where are we? Exit plan.
So if one of us should get sick and we can't continue cruising, or when we are ready to stop, we figure about 7 years that's what we expect. Then what are we going to do? Well, we are keeping our van camper, and we're leaving it with a friend in North Florida. So when we're ready, that's where we'll go, and we can stay in our camper van until such time as we find a new home. So and I am just perfectly comfortable with that exit plan. So.
Yeah. Here's one. Murray says we did save $5,000 a month for the two of us. That's
for two of us.
That's less than what he pays for his senior residence with meals. So, yeah, we might be able to.
But that's on top of the purchase price.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the monthly. That's the main one. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now let's talk about the fun stuff. The itinerary. So in green is 2025, in orange is 2026, and in purple is 2027. So we're getting on in San Francisco, we'll go up to Alaska, and it even goes to Anchorage, which I'm excited about because I spent my grade school years there and have never been back. Then it goes down the Aleutian chain, over to Japan, down to the Philippines, and this time next year, we will be in the French Polynesia. Then it goes around New Zealand, Australia, up into China, and it ends 2026 in Sri Lanka. Then you go around Africa and spend a lot of time in the Mediterranean before December 2027 when we are back in the States. Now I want to show you just a little bit about how this map works. There's a link to this map. You can scan the QR code that was on that slide and you can get this map, and you can even view it in Google Earth. View map in Google Earth. This is just too cool. So if I say, okay, where are we going to be December 2025 for Christmas? December 25, 2025. Wow, there's so many stops here, huh? December 25, 2025. Okay. And this is Google Earth. Boom.
Zoom back out.
And look at that. Not only will we be there for Christmas Day, but we're at the same spot for the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And that spot is Bora Bora. Woohoo!
Good diving there.
So, just cool. Now, do we have... Yeah, it's only 3 minutes, huh?
Yeah.
I want to show how I made this map. We have a 3-minute. So, how do you make that map? Now, if you are a Geeks On Tour member and have been following us for years, we have lots of tutorial videos on Geeks On Tour on how to make my maps. If you just go to geeksontour.com/tip064, it lists it all out for you. But it's mymaps.com. It's not Google Maps. It is by Google, but it's Google my maps, meaning you create what you want. So I started with the spreadsheet from the Villa Vie company that has listed all the stops, and then I cleaned it up so that it would simplified it for purpose of importing, and then I imported it into my maps. I imported each year separately so that you could select one or the other. You go to mymaps.google.com. And I have a ton of them. I make maps for everything. You create a new map and create. And as I said, first, here is the spreadsheet that is on the Villa Vie Residences website with the complete itinerary. And notice all of these columns. All I need is the port and the country and the date. So I cleaned them up and made one for each year with just the date and the port and the country. So then what you do is you import. And I keep those on Google Drive. I use Google Sheets, but you can do it with Excel and from your computer as well. And 2024 and Villa Vie, and I want, let's say I want to get the 2026 itinerary. And it's fetching it. It says what columns are needed to position your place mark. Well, that's port and country. And continue. Then what column is the title of the marker? That I want to be date. And finish. And that's it. It has brought in all of the 2026 stops, but it just has this simple little marker. I want to know where we start and go to next, so I click on Uniform Style and make it sequence of numbers. And that's pretty much all there is to it. You know, just keep importing from your different sheets and you have your map.
All right. Pretty cool.
And you can scan that QR code to view the map yourself.
Okay.
That is a dream map, isn't it?
It sure is.
Look at that. This time next year we'll be in Bora Bora. Christmas 2026 will be in Sri Lanka, and then we'll be back. I already did that, didn't I?
Okay. Linda says, so when are you going to leave, and are you continuing to do the show each month?
Yeah, we'll get there. Yes, we will be still doing our show. So, fellow residents, to learn more, there's some video, there's some YouTube channels, and if you want to see them all, I've made a page on geeksontour.com, Villa Vie Residence, and if you go there, you'll see everybody. Yeah, so geeksontour.com, Villa Vie Residence. Randy and Kit Casingham are the people that we knew about before we got on board. And they have a website called Residential Cruising. Highly recommend checking that out. And we actually did an interview of Randy while we're on board, and it will air at this time slot next Sunday.
Right.
Then the YouTube channels, I have 4 YouTube channels listed here. These are by people who are currently living on the ship. Same with these blogs and Facebook pages. And if anybody finds another one, leave a comment on this and I will add it.
Hey, thank you, Michael Daniels, a super chat. Thanks for all you do for your community.
Thank you.
Michael has his own community. You can check him out as well.
And inside communications, there's a WhatsApp group for anything you can imagine by the people on board. Plus, there's a unique community called Circle, just for Villa Vie residents. And here's, next Sunday at 2, you will see an interview of Randy Casingham.
Chris did the interview. I held the camera, so.
and edited it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, will Geeks on Tour change? If anything,
It should get better.
it should get better because we're back to being on tour again. Now, this won't be till June. We're home till June.
Yeah, so some things that will change. More of our content will be about the destinations and the people that we meet along the way. But we hope to have lots of interviews with the other residents, and Randy's the first one. And we may cut down on the live web streaming. Bandwidth could be an issue. It's improving all the time. We were able to stream a couple of weeks ago from the ship with no problems, but yeah, other people have reported problems, and we'll do it when it's good. When it's not, we'll have a recording, but we'll have something up there every Sunday.
Well, now, Sunday at 2 o'clock live streaming will be a problem when we're in Japan, for example.
Some places it might be an issue.
That's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning or something. So our schedule will change.
But we'll do live as much as we can because it's so much fun.
We like live.
We do
yeah.
it. It makes us do stuff.
Yeah, we like live. But you'll have to be subscribed to our newsletter then to be notified of when the live is.
Okay. Okay, the Backstage Pass, another reminder, it's for premium members only. Zoom meeting, you get a link that Chris sends in an email, or you can go to geeksontour.com/member login and log in there. So that would be great. Sign up for our free newsletters to get information about where we are, what we're doing. We don't expect everybody to keep up with us as much as some do. Okay, our YouTube channel. Do subscribe and click the bell to get notified. It really helps us out. More questions. Well, we have a few more things going on here. Let me see. When are we going to leave? We did that one. Situation for resale. Well, they have a buyback situation where it's a graduated type situation, or you can sell it. You can rent it as an owner, as a resident. You can do those things. And we don't know. It's a depreciating asset from what we can tell.
It's not like buying a house.
No.
It's more like buying an RV, and maybe even worse than that as far as depreciating.
Well, we'll see. Chris remembers when we did hula together. Could have been.
Oh, did hula? Yes. Okay. Did I have my skirt with me? No, I didn't have my skirt with me for that. In the RV, yeah.
Do you do a mortgage for the purchase price?
No,
you do not. You give them money.
I mean, you might be able to find financing somewhere, but they certainly don't have mortgages, and since there's no title or deed, no.
Murray's asking what the purchase price is. It's on their website, so that's the most.
So yeah, it depends on the cabin you get, and
right.
we covered that in the beginning, so you can look at the replay.
Bert says, let's see, you guys be living on the Villa Vie permanently. Looked at this, and you only get 15% back after 9 to 15 years. Yeah, there's a buyback thing going on there. So yeah, what you have is what they promised to buy it back for. But if you want to stay on, you can continue living on that.
Well, basically, you figure if you've been on for 9 to 15 years, you've used it all up.
Yeah,
you've used up your purchase price. There's nothing left.
Okay. Is the ship and any excursion sites available for ADA wheelchair use? ADA wheelchairs are not going to work on this ship. Other ships, maybe. It's going to be a problem, but I would not expect it. You need to be able to get over the higher thresholds and yeah, it could be an issue in some places. There are ramps, there are rooms that are supposedly ready for wheelchairs and ADA, and there are some walkers and things on board, but check with the company to be sure. Okay, Bonnie says you should be feeding the spreadsheet to an LLM and asking it to make the map.
I will try that, Bonnie.
I
will try that.
And yep.
Yeah, and Debbie said that she paid $600 for an annual travel insurance. we'll have to talk, Debbie.
Yes. And what does it cover and where can you be? Presenting at the FMCA RV conference in Perry? No, we will not be in Perry.
March.
Is there other companies that offer this? No. There's one other company called The World. It's you have to be a millionaire to even be considered. Multimillionaire to even be considered. And there are, No.
Yeah, this is the only one that is doing this
And is affordable.
At affordable, or somewhat affordable rates.
But if it's a proven concept, others will take advantage of it. I expect this to be, it's brand new. It's unproven. It's a risk, without a doubt. Is there a broker, or is this directly with a ship company? There are no brokers as far as I know. Everything we've done has been right with the company. However, some individuals are advertising their cabins for rent or for long-term. But
there is a Facebook group called Rent, Buy, Sell.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is a Facebook group that is facilitating owners reselling and renting of their cabins.
So what's the average length of stay at every destination? At each destination, it ranges from overnight to 5, even 6 days. As Chris showed you earlier, we'll be in Bora Bora next Christmas for 3 or 4 days, right?
Yeah. And that is one of the things that's different from regular cruise ships. When we were on it, going through the Panama Canal, and then it docked in Panama City. And they said, okay, everybody, you can get off now. Just make sure to be back by 11 or 2 p.m. 3 days from now. 2 days from now.
And you can get off. A lot of people, what they did is they got to Ecuador, and the ship was not going to the Galapagos, so they actually made their own excursion to the Galapagos. Others went to Machu Picchu just this past week. So they're arranging their own excursions. There are other excursions that can be made, and it's really cool stuff. Michael wanted to know about doctors. There is a doctor and 2 nurses on board. There's a medical facility down there. They don't have everything, but they do have some. They can keep you stable until they can get you evacuated off the ship.
Or make arrangements at the next port for whatever kind of specialist you need.
So they have had some broken bones and slips and falls and things that needed to get taken care of, but they've been getting it done. Linda, how much for the trial week, and how does that work? You'd have to call the company. It's different, so not sure. And it's changed just recently, so.
Oh yeah.
We'll see.
It was reasonable.
Yeah.
It was less than we've paid for a regular cruise for a week.
Right. And it was a wonderful opportunity to check it out.
Yeah.
Although if you do it, it could get expensive. Because you'll buy.
Oh, right.
As we did.
Yeah, it gets real expensive.
All right. Anything else over there?
I think that's it.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. So, back to the Backstage Pass. I just talked about that.
Okay.
Check it out. The webpage, Chris, that lists all of our YouTube shows.
GeeksOnTour.com, and the menu item is YouTube Show. Then What Does This Button Do? Or Fun with Photos is under there.
And the webpage that lists all of our recent newsletters.
GeeksOnTour.com, the menu item is Blogs and News. You'll see all our, 15 years worth of newsletters under there.
Yeah, and why do people pay $58 a year to join Geeks on Tour?
There's lots of member benefits, all sorts of videos, and private Zoom calls, and the Backstage Pass, and to get written notes from these YouTube shows. And a lot of people just like saying thank you, supporting us for all the stuff that we do for free.
And we thank you. Okay, become a member at geeksontour.com/join now. It's well worth it. That's it for this week. We'll see you next time. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we are Geeks on Tour.
Geeks on Floating Tour, soon to be.
Okay.